Brilliant sunny afternoon at Soldier Field, and the Bears fans hoping for win number 1 of this NFL season. The Minnesota Vikings have won the toss, elected to receive. They're defending to our right in white, and the Bears will be kicking off from the left. Now with 3rd and 4, they have Leroy Horde and the speedy David Palmer. Palmer into the pass route. The pass is complete out the right side to Randy Moss for a first down. Defense can join them at that same caliber. Dave Wanstedt just wants a win. He knows a lot of pressure on his defense today. Cunningham, little screen for Robert Smith. Smith has running room, and down the sideline, Robert Smith is going to score. Touchdown. Second and 10. 3 wide receivers are in. Chris Penn joining Conway and Ingram. And that is complete for a Bear first down to Bobby Ingram. Robert Chancey in the lineup right now. Kramer downfield. He's got Chris Penn. Penn with 2 spin moves nearly broke away, but he turned into the traffic. Nonetheless, a good play for Penn and a first down. How about that? 70 for Mark McGuire on the final day of the regular season. This is complete to Ingram. Ingram has another Bear first down. Eric Kramer going to the air effectively on the Bears opening series. Downfield, he's got a man. That is Ingram. Touchdown. Bobby Ingram, and Eric Kramer answers the challenge. A 33-yard score to Bobby Ingram, replying to that opening. Cunningham 3 of 6 at this point. Cunningham, and that is caught out of the backfield. David Palmer.
But if they can run and pass on you, you could be a long afternoon.
2nd and 4. Smith again, and Smith has room. First down, and only had 1 man to beat, or he would have been down the sideline.
Stay right there and focused on him.
Terry Cousin and Tom Carter's spot on the corner, and the Bears had 2 offensive players go down already in this first quarter. Ty Halleck and Curtis Conway. That pass intended for Palmer, a little too high from Cunningham.
Well, that's some ad-libbing. That's ad-libbing. That's ad-libbing like the pregame crew.
The Bears force the Vikings punt. Beautifully popped down the pooch to the 2-yard line from Mitch Berger. They're at their 1-yard line after that perfect punt from Berger. Kramer gets good time out to Halleck, the fullback. Halleck running hard, gets out to the 15-yard line, and a Bear first down.
But he will be something special when they file off the boodles of the edges.
On 3rd down, Kramer, and it's in and out of the hands of Chris Penn as Jimmy Hitchcock came in. May even have got a hand on that territory. Still tied at 7. 12:31 to go here first half. This is Robert Smith, and Smith finds a nice opening and has the first down. 3rd down and 3. The crowd getting into it here. And Cunningham with a sneak for the first down. So now it's a 2-team battle, and the Chicago Cubs in the thick of it. First down for the Vikings here at the Bear 30. Pressure on Cunningham. Goes deep to the end zone, and it's knocked away. Coverage was there from Walt Harris. 3rd and 5. Horde and Palmer in the backfield now. Palmer sets up on the wing. Cunningham is sacked. That is Mark Thomas.
That's his 3rd sack of the year.
And a long field goal from 51. Gary Anderson, and he has it. Gary Anderson, who had 5 field goals last week, connects here from 51 yards out, and the Vikings on top 10-7. The front now for Minnesota. Halleck in motion behind the ball. Play action fake to Enos. And they've got Bobby Ingram. Ingram breaks a tackle and gets to the 45-yard line. 3rd down and 10. They got Randall out on the end. They've used him all over. Kramer, he's got a man open. That's Ingram again. Inside the 25. Torian Gray. Kramer on first down. Again, good protection. He's got Penn. Touchdown. Chris Penn.
He found the weakness, Bill.
Chris Penn, the 5-year man from Tulsa. Remember, they're going without Curtis Conway, still out with a groin pull from the first quarter on his ensuing 4 completions. Third down here. They're 3 of 6 in this department, and now they are 3 of 7. The sack from Barry Minter.
And you say you got to gamble. You say you're 0-3.
Fabian Bones, number 82, joining the regulars. A big hole up the middle for Edgar Bennett, and a first down, Bears. Bears in the I formation on first down. They're at their own 48-yard line. Staying on the ground, there's running room for Enos. Enos blows through one tackler and has a first down, Chicago, at the 38-yard line.
They are mixing it up against the Vikings defense.
Well, they do, and the Bears, of course, have to worry about their second half collapses. Right now, they're in charge. And that's Curtis Enos. Now the Bears really want to score here. They want a touchdown. 4 times they're in the red zone at Tampa Bay and fail to come up with a major score. This is Enos, and he just blasts his way inside the 5-yard line. Just inside the 5-yard line. Kramer, a little bit of a roll. He's got a man open. Touchdown. That's Ingram. Bobby Ingram.
They are mixing it up so well offensively right now. Eric Kramer is on fire.
You got to like the way the Bears have played on both sides of the ball so far in this game. That squib kick,
that's Chicago's ball,
came right off one of the Vikings, and the Bears got possession. Now, you'd love to know whether it was intended to work exactly the way it did, but it was perfect.
Well, you're talking about a kicker that hasn't kicked off, hasn't been kicking off. They had no idea. No, that wasn't
Chris
planned.
Moss tried to catch it. He tried to catch the ball. You got to let that ball go through. You can't try to catch that ball. He tried to catch it, and it bounced right off his chest, Bill.
It was Frankie Smith who recovered it, one of the new players on the special teams, and they get Kramer this time back at the 32-yard line, and it was John Randall. In recent years and this year, winless in their first 3, are on their feet, sending the Bears to the locker room at the end of the first half. The score 21-10 Chicago. We'll be back after this and a message from your local station. Third down play. They have slot formation to the left this time. Kramer gets some time. Now he swings it out for Bennett. Bennett with a spin move away from one man. He'll be short of the first down, but he picked up about 7 near the 37-yard line. Mike Horan won a tryout contest this week here in Chicago. And he gets a hold of this one. David Palmer and Randy Moss both back. And this is David Palmer, always dangerous. Only the punter to beat. Now getting some help, and he's down inside the 35-yard line.
I don't know if that was help or not. Torian Gray was up there trying to help, but actually he got in the path of
Robert Smith. He's got room off tackle. Turns it upfield and gets inside the 20. Cut finger. So he's playing with a handicap here, but back in action. Third down. Into the end zone. Touchdown. Minnesota. The tight end Glover. So the Vikings come right back after that big punt return, a 19-yard touchdown. Third down and 7. Showing blitz. It's picked up. Kramer still with time. He's got his man. A nice catch by Chris Penn.
Boy, that was a heck of a catch.
First down, Chicago. Third and less than a yard. Play action. Kramer's got a man in the flat. Halleck. First down, Chicago to the 23-yard line of Minnesota. How about that? Kramer complete. That's Bones, Fabian Bones. Now remember, Curtis Conway, 8 to go for a first. They need to get to the 2-yard line. Kramer into the end zone. Picked off. That's Fuller. And he is stopped at the 32-yard line by the center, Casey Wegman, or that could have been a touchdown the other way. Fuller just saw it all the way, it looked like, Ronnie.
Yeah, I think he saw it all the way. But...
Second down, 7. Screen pass, nearly knocked down. Robert Smith, look at that burst of speed. Smith for a first down to midfield. Let's see what the Vikings can produce here. They haven't been able to get their big guns into the passing game as yet. This is Reed, and Reed has a first down.
You got to wrap them up, and you got to be able to take away those blockers.
On first down, Cunningham going deep this time, and it's a touchdown to Chris Carter. Chris Carter for 35 yards and a touchdown. You knew they sometime, somehow, were going to make a long scoring touchdown to these great wideouts. Time winding down in the third. Third down and 12 for the Bears. And that's Bennett. Bennett struggles for about 4. That'll bring up a punting situation, and the Bluebirds quick to come out here. He probably won't have one. Third and 11. Cunningham. Carter again. What a good catch. He had Harris draped all over him, and Chris Carter comes up with a grab. 11:49 to go, regulation time. Bears fans hoping for a big defensive play. The only turnover by them was costly, and they nearly had it there. Great effort by Walt Harris.
Ronnie, the one thing I like...
3 touchdown passes, giving the Bears the early lead. They've done that 4 weeks in a row, but they trail by 3. Kramer just got it away. He's got a man open. Just as he was hit,
wide open.
He could not quite get all of it as he took the shot from John Randall. 3rd and 11 Bears. Herndon playing for the injured Andy Heck, out with a foot injury. The left tackle. From the end zone, he's got time. Kramer, and it's right out of the chest of Bobby Ingram, who's had an outstanding game. But that one he could not bring in. I did one. It was on a raft somewhere in a lake, and I fell off.
I don't even want to try to envision that.
Last one I did. Cunningham lets it fly deep, and it's caught. Touchdown! That is Randy Moss. 44 yards. The ball hung up a little bit, but the tall Randy Moss calmly awaited it and then just fell into the end zone.
We spoke with Randall Cunningham.
And you can see Randall right here. He says, I just got to throw it up to the big guy. I got to throw it up to him for one reason only, because I know that he'll go get it. And right there, he got it.
First half for the Bears, and the receiving department hasn't had a catch in the second half. Huge third down play here, and they need a lot of mileage. And they go to Ryan Wetnight, the tight end, and he gets back about 12, but it's well short. 3rd and 2 for the Vikings. This is huge for the Bears defensively. And Cunningham sneaks and has the first down. Twice today he's done that.
And the clock keeps moving.
Second down here for the Vikings. Cunningham rolling, steps up away from the first rusher and connects. Good pass to Glover. Good job by Cunningham, and a first down at the 45-yard line.
Despite all the problems, now they got it all straightened out. They're playing well. They know that they can come back and beat people now, Bill.
And even with a backup like this guy who's played so well today, very much like the starter he was all those years in Philadelphia. Well, this time they get Cunningham.
They're torn whether to be the West Coast team, which they brought Matt Cavanaugh in for, or be a power run game.
Kramer going deep, and it is caught. That's Fabian Bones. Was he inbounds? Yes. Kramer 4 of 5 on this drive. Has some time going to the end zone. Wetnight touchdown.
Well, no question on that.
Yeah.
You don't even have to get the 4th down.
Ryan Wetnight. That was not an easy catch. 19 yards for the score. A good pass, but a very good catch for the big tight end, Ryan Wetnight.
Well,
victory for the Bears. This one a little more conventional onside lineup here.
Watch the backside.
Ball is loose, knocked out of bounds. Looked like it went off the hands of a Bear player. Let's wait and see.
Now, if that is touched, if it's touched by the Vikings.
The kickoff went out of bounds, which is a foul by the kicking team. However, the ball went beyond 20 yards, so by rule, it is not an onside kick. The receiving team accepts the result of the play, takes the ball at the out-of-bounds spot, first down.
All right, well, that's well explained.
Yeah. See,
Wanstead out to congratulate Dennis Green, and the Vikings prevail 31-28. An exciting football game, but unfortunately for the Bears, the same result as they have had in the previous 3 weeks, leading at halftime and then losing in the second half. And their 4 losses have come by a total of 21 points.
Yeah, a little over 5 points a game.
Yeah.
That's a tough thing for him to swallow, especially with what you coupled with what you said, Timmy, and the fact that they led at halftime in all the games.
Yeah.